Well guys, back out here with the legend Craig. I bought some little goodies with me. I've got a shaft here to go in the diff and all that sort of stuff. Got the new steering rack. CVs, that's right.
CVs, yeah. Friggin' the mechanical version of a draft giving birth, mate.
Look how stretched that is.
That's what a Reuben rev does.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem to be sitting right. That just goes to show that they come loose super easy. You're going to steal my job. Well, I can't reach that anyway.
No.
I don't reckon I want the extra fuel tank in it. I'm not going to be doing any mass trips like to the territory and all that sort of stuff, and I actually didn't need the long range tank for doing Cape York because there's plenty of servos in between. So I think I'm just going to try and save some weight, and if I need to take any fuel, I'll just put it in the canopy. I'll just put a couple of jerry cans in there. So that's what I'm going to do there. Yeah, I told you it's 18. It's not 19.
Guess what?
What?
It's not even 18.
Telling him wrong sizes. You can't trick old Craig though. He said it was 19 straight away, and I'm trying to tell him to get an 18. Anyway, that'll be the last time we get to trick him. Well, we'll have a crack at these pads here. Craig's ripped them out and they're just absolutely destroyed. Now, we usually machine the rotor here before we put new pads in it, but I'm going to just take it straight back out forward driving again. And that's what mud and dirt and dust does to brake pads, just chewed them out in like a few thousand Ks. So I don't see there's any point actually machining that rotor when all I'm going to do is just go and completely destroy another set of pads. Yeah. So that's for everyone out there who's going to bag me for not machining the discs. I don't want to, because I'm just going to destroy them again in no time.
Bit of anti-squeak on there. Not that it's going to make much difference for your application, because you're just going to go and fill it up with mud anyway. But
and they'll squeal their arse off anyway.
Yeah, well, best practice, that's what we do. We put anti-squeak on the back of it when we machine or replace rotors.
Yeah.
And yeah, away we go. But your circumstance is a bit unique to...
Not in a Reuben circumstance.
Yeah, you should put that in a bottle and sell it.
That's probably not supposed to look like that, eh?
Oh, too close. You need to pull that sleeve up, huh?
Pull it up.
Like, just get the sleeve up around that bag there a bit.
Why do we need the sleeve? It's supposed to give you an extra 20 psi. They come with sleeves, give you an extra psi. But because I had in the dirt it rubbed through, I'm going to try it this time without bags and see if it does.
See what difference it makes.
Yeah. Fisting it. Oh, whoa!
Pull it on the bottom.
Don't you like wrinkles?
What's that remind you of?
Yeah, well, it's not supposed to be squeezed with pliers, though, is it?
Well, I've never tried that, so.
Well, in the paddock, we had a real drama getting it in because we didn't take the whole airbag out. Yeah.
Well, the odds were against you too, because you're working in all that dirt and crap.
Well, we took the whole airbag out, but it was just so difficult to get in there. Anyway.
Well, that's trimmed up. That's good. That'll fit nice in that new bag. We'll make sure it doesn't leak before we start.
Roger. There we go, I'm confident. I don't reckon it's going to leak at all. I can't hear anything. I reckon I stuck it in just right. Just warming it up to get the oil a bit warm so we can drop it. Start the service. Nasty. Doesn't look that bad, but that's been blown out about 3 times. Have a go at that. Nah, can't do it. That's the go. Yeah, it was very tight. So what's the go with Rangers? How come you can't let when you change the oil filter on a Ranger?
Well, so Rangers, up to say 15, they run a vane style oil pump, and so they'll lose prime. So if you leave them too long, they can lose prime. Not all the time, but they can lose prime. and then you got a hell of a job trying to get.
Well, it's a rookie error, isn't it, for the people who are trying to service it?
Yeah, trying to get oil pressure.
So you got to
back
quickly. You wouldn't do this then. You just quickly rip that off. And put the other one on.
If you got 10 minutes up your sleeve, you're pretty right. But any longer than that, you start to run a bit of a risk of you losing oil pressure or not getting oil pressure when you fill it back up. So that's ranges and BT50s.
Yeah, with the 5-cylinder up to 15.
Yeah. So the vane style oil pump, they're a bit of a crappy design. So they just struggle to pick oil pressure up if they lose too much. So you can put gear pumps in them, which fixes it. But yeah, and they will fail too. So we have seen them fail and destroy themselves.
Oh well, there you go, folks. At home, if you've got a BT50 or a Ranger up to 2015, make sure you don't leave your oil filter off for too long, and make sure you keep an eye on the oil pressure, because obviously the oil pumps fail.
But yes, definitely.
Craig, in the book, you said these take 1.5 litres, is that right?
Yeah, yep.
And how much is that?
We've got about 1.2 out there at the moment, just over 1. So yeah,
So
the problem with it,
300 or 400 mil light.
yeah, and when I checked it yesterday, it was down from the filler bung. So a lot of manufacturers nowadays, particularly on transmissions and transfer cases, and even diffs now, going to what they call a sealed unit or a fill for life.
Yep.
Now, when you look at this thing, it's a all-wheel drive, and you've got essentially 1.5 litres of oil driving around a vehicle or transferring power to a vehicle that runs 3.5 tonne.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that oil's got to do a lot of work through that box. Now, I'm a big believer. Oil's cheap maintenance at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Manufacturers that are making fill for life components, just I'm not a fan at all. It's just fraught with danger. So in this case, and a lot of them too are going to real specific oils, which we found with this. So we've got to use genuine oil to fill it, because it's a licensed oil, very specific to what the manufacturer wants in there. If you put anything in there, you're going to have slippage issues and
it won't shift properly.
It won't shift properly and have all sorts of dramas. And that's what happens with the oil once it gets a bit older too. So it just doesn't work.
It's not that old though. Like I was worried it had water in it. That's why we were changing it, because obviously all the river crossings and everything we'd done and the mud and all that. But also, with the hard time the car's had, like it's not. I would have thought that lots and lots of Ks on the car driving around would be harder on it than what I've done so far, because it hasn't done huge amounts of Ks.
No, it hasn't, but there's, again, go back to a lot of weight in the vehicle, that sort of stuff. All the drive for front and rear is coming through that transfer case.
Yep.
And you look at that oil and just how burnt it is and how black it is compared to what the new oil is. It's
worth changing.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So even if it's not, preventive maintenance is the cure for a lot of things, I think. So yeah, we'll get fresh oil in that, and I think you'll notice a difference in the way it shifts and drives. So, and we'll check the transmission as well.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Everybody's wondering why it's taken 2 of us to fill this up. I mean, it probably doesn't, but at $150 a litre, we don't really want to squirt this in places it's not supposed to be squirted.
Right. Thank you.
That's a nasty colour.
It's terrible, yeah.
You are going to have to do it, because I can't reach it. Because you've got like 6 foot of extensions on your hoist. So Craig, how many litres of oil does it take?
So we're going 6.5 litres of Penrite 540 full synthetic in this. The actual factory spec is a 530.
Okay.
In that what they call a GF or a fuel spec. So to try and keep fuel economy down, but on this thing, supercharged,
Reuben revs.
mad exhaust on it, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
All that's gone out the window basically. So, yeah, the 540 is a touch heavier. It'll be a little bit better suited for the supercharger and or for the supercharged engine.
Yeah. Everyone takes a piss out of me being short, but see these things here? They're not usually on the regular hoist, okay? So imagine if that was just back down here in its normal position, the car is here. But no, these are special extensions just for Craig.
Hang on. wipe a tear, mate, wipe a tear.
No, we've swapped rails.
Suck away, brother. Ooh, you'd make a good phlebotomist.
I like his firm grip. Ooh, did we just run out? Or?
I think we're empty yet.
Oh. Hey, so running that, obviously.
Yeah, just filled the gaps. Just hold that there. I've got the new bottle here, so that one's empty.
There we go.
Right.
Happy with that? It's only full anyway. Look at that. Throw his lunch on the ground and go home.
Oh, speaking of lunch, how good was that?
That was awesome. The Highfield Craig special burger. Yeah. 3 rashers of bacon, steak, cheese, onion, barbecue sauce on a nice lightly toasted bun. How mad was that? I'm gonna do a couple of those for breakfast, I reckon, one day, and tell everybody about the special Craig burger.
If that was your last meal, you wouldn't be disappointed.
No, I wouldn't be.
Right, you give me that. Now I'm going to pump this oil uphill. $7, $38.
Craig height adjustment tool, so I'm at least similar height to Craig.
So Reuben, I found the ratchet.
Where is it?
Where you can't see it, basically.
Above my oil line, is it?
It was up in this oil drain.
Who leaves it in the oil drain? I'm having enough dramas myself.
Standing here, here we go. There we go.
It's Houdini the ratchet.
That's ratchet number 10. This is all our transmission data, and we're looking for trans temperature here. It's at 33 degrees at the moment, so we'll get that up to 40 and then we can check that oil again. I'm going to see how many fault codes you put in this thing, eh?
A few.
Oh, hang on, we'll do a code scan on it. Let's see. You want to guess how many?
Oh, I reckon 2 or 3. I reckon max.
I love your optimism. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8.
What are they all related
9,
to?
10. Just stupid stuff, really. Nah, look, because these things are so, I'm going to say sensitive, but because they can measure everything pretty quickly and accurately, they'll log a code in a heartbeat.
Well, would have logged codes once it did the front rack and everything.
Yeah, once all that stuff broke.
And then it was going in and out of the transmission, it was being a bit weird.
So we've got trans codes, we've got engine codes, we've got, there was body control codes in there, so what I'm going to do with them is I'll clear them. Once we get everything finished, we'll take it for a drive and just make sure everything's okay. Yeah. And we can start again, so go back into this transmission, see where our temperature is at. 35 there.
You want me to lift you up? It's going to start.
No, I'm just going to get a bit of line pressure up, which will create a bit of friction in there, and our temperature will come up pretty quickly now. ATF temp 2 is at 42, temp 1's at 35, so we're pretty much on the money with it. Start him up again. We're done.
Right. Well, transmission is all flushed and new fluid in there. I think we'll bring it down off the horse, depends on what Craig wants to do first, whether wheel alignment or put to the other tune in the supercharger.
We'll
we really need to.
We'll get it wheel aligned. Yeah, we'll get it wheel aligned and tighten over the things on the like the front strut mounts and stuff. Get the wheel alignment done. Basically, take it for drive. See how everything's weighing up, and then go from there.
Yep. Cool. Look at that. Exciting. Well, how about it? This is the 4th time I'm giving away something epic. Now, this time around, you've got a choice between Big Gloria and 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗕𝗘. It's a sad day for me if you choose that. If you don't choose that, you get 150 grand cash. Now, it's so simple to enter. Go to the DMW website, go to the store and get yourself a gift voucher. That is the only way to enter. Get yourself a gift voucher. Then you can proceed to buy whatever you want on the website. So it's that simple. Big Gloria, if you choose Gloria, I'm going to be so sad. 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗕𝗏, we've had so many memories. Or I could just give you 150 grand cash. Anyway, guys, slip into it, get yourself those entries, and I could be giving it all to you.
This is all done with.
Actually, go out, wouldn't it?
I hope so.
Look at that.
I might have found a limit, 37-inch dollars. So these are all done by
infrared
and 3D cameras. Yeah.
Oh, right.
There are cameras in the head of the unit there. Yep. It'll look at each target, and
that doesn't matter what angle those targets are on.
No, so it's basically looking at like each of those targets has got circles on it, so it's looking for distortion in the circles.
Oh, okay.
And it'll make measurements off that. So we'll do a roll down on it. Okay, stop there. Yes. Just step back from there, Reuben. Okay, now we'll come back. Stop there and you just step back. Right. Basically, essentially green's good, and we'll fine tune the greens. We'll start with the rear, we'll get the rear done first, then we'll do the front.
How can there be any green?
Well, it's only caster on the front that's good, and I've got a couple of cambers that are right or close to it. But I'll get these pretty close to where they need to be. We'll put the canopy on, and then we'll do it again and just fine tune it all from there. So
have a look at that.
So this is our rear.
What's that?
So that's our toe because we've got those adjusters loose.
Yep.
So we'll get those right. We'll get these cambers right, and then we can go from there. So
oh, look at this. Up it goes. So can't go anywhere.
No, brakes are on.
Yeah. And then you've got that jack system in the middle there.
Yeah, so it's got another jack in the middle of it, or a scissor in the middle.
Yep. Look at that.
So level that, that's it. Basically, that's it. Pretty much 100% level there. Yep.
So it's above my oil line again.
Yep. Which is pretty good. What size are those nuts and bolts in it?
Well, I reckon there's 22s and 24s. We're doing the back, is that right?
Start at the back, yep. Going to run that camber in positive there for now.
So what's that mean?
So it means the top of the tyre's out. So if that's straight ahead, the right wheel, the left wheel's like the top, the right wheel's like that.
A bit further out.
Ideally, we want it sort of.
But when you sat in that, they don't change it.
Yeah. Normally, when you sit in, they come back in a bit.
Yeah.
So, but if I bring that back or lower that down to 20 minutes where it needs to be, we'll just lose our toe.
Yeah.
So I want to keep the toe as close as we can. I'm sort of compromising there at the moment. So once we get the front right and we can drive it, we'll then put it back up because it's so far out of adjustment from having everything apart.
And then let it settle. And
so we'll let it settle, we'll put the canopy on it, get everything right, and then try again. So we'll get the front running now.
So explain to me about the minutes and the degrees.
So there's 60 minutes to a degree. So we're measuring this in degrees and minutes.
Yeah.
So this side's got to be negative 10 minutes of camber.
Yeah.
So it's basically just a slight bit of wheel in at the top, just off zero.
Yep.
Our caster, we want positive caster, which we've got, so that's good.
She's out, caster's out, so it keeps the steering wheel straight.
Yeah, so if that's the top of the kingpin, caster's when the wheel's like that. So so we want our wheel like that.
Back the other way though,
that's
negative. Very, very twitchy and horrible,
gives you your shopping trolley wobble.
Yeah.
So basically this wheel's going to be sitting forward like that and in a bit at the top.
Yep.
Okay, and same on the other side. So I'll normally favour a little bit of bit more caster on the left than the right.
So it actually steers up the hill and straightens the wheel?
So one wheel will essentially sit like that and one will sit like that.
Yeah.
And it's not that exaggerated, but just
is that because the shape of the road goes like that? And you're always driving on that side?
Our roads always want to feed you left.
So you want it to ride up the hill a bit to keep your wheel straight.
Keep it straight.
Yep. Here we go, we're bringing them back now.
So we're bringing this is our toe.
0.6. Here we go, here it comes.
What's that number going to be?
0.6, but you're at 0.8.
Yep.
That's be good enough until we get the thing on it. Is that right? The canopy on it?
It'll change once we put the canopy on.
Oh, look at that. You got it fair dinkum in the middle. Nah, going the other way now. You're coming in, 0.7. Yep. Here we go. Yep, you're on the money. It's all in the green. Have a go at that. He's not just a pretty face, this man. He got all the gear, and he's got an idea.
The rear, a little bit concerned about this side on the rear just to try and get it into spec, but we'll see how it goes after we drive it.
Yeah. This driver's side.
Yeah, so we're just our camber is.
Well, that's certainly going to change when we put weight on.
Once you get the weight on, yeah, it'll just bring it from that to straight up more. So anyway, that's cool.
You'll be able to take it for you. Just got the canopy back on to sort out the wheel alignment. Just putting about 30-40 pound in the airbags just to make sure that it's sort of sitting at the right height, and yeah, we'll be good to go. There you go. Weight makes a huge difference to your wheel alignments if you've got a ute. That's why we got it pretty close to take it for a bit of a drive to begin with, and then obviously the canopy's going back on it, so it's got a fair bit of weight in it, as we know, and that's when you got to do a proper wheel alignment, because if you're going to do heaps and heaps of Ks with weight on your car, make sure you get it wheel aligned for that correct weight. Put her there. Thank you so much for everything that you've done, mate. And can we just give everybody at home a bit of a rundown of actually what we did break?
Well, you broke. Okay, so that incident was a steering rack and an output shaft on the diff, as far as
and that's it. And a CV.
And a CV, yeah. But other than that, everything else was survived, which is
transmission.
Great, so. Transmission survived, yeah.
And the transfer case.
And there was nothing else. The pump, the power steering pump survived. So.
And it drove for hours and hours.
Who would have thought? Yeah. So I was as surprised as what you are with that. So yeah, look, end of the day, fix that all up, good service, get some brakes in it, tidy it all up, and it's good to go again. So,
absolutely fabulous. The only thing that we've got to do, come back, we're going to put the big nasty tune back in it soon, but we'll wait for that on the next episode. So anyway, thanks very much for the video that we've done with Craig. Thanks, mate, for everything else.
Pleasure.
If you like what we do here at DMW and the people we involve, like Craig at Highfield Mechanical, like and subscribe our channel so you get to see way more cool stuff that we're going to be doing in the future. Cheers, guys. Well, I hope you liked that video. Make sure you hit subscribe or you're going to get bogged.